we're delighted to be here with all of you and speak with Mary Beth, formerly of Nike. And before we jump in here, I just want to deal, frankly, Mary Beth, with the elephant in the room. This is a question that I know for a fact is on the minds of every single woman in the Continental Ballroom right now. And that question is, did you bring us samples?
I'm sorry, Marlene, I did not bring samples.
I tried,
not
ladies.
Not a good start. Yeah.
I tried. I really tried on your behalf. Well, in that case, Mary Beth, we should just talk about mobile commerce and convergence, okay?
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about Sephora. You guys are rocking it. I mean, you create the most amazing customer experience that people are really, really resonating with. What's the role that mobile is playing in the entire Sephora company?
Yeah, so we view mobile as playing a lot of different roles for Sephora. We place a pretty high bar on it. Definitely one is driving our e-commerce sales and traffic, but we really view mobile as so much more than that. So a big piece for us is mobile playing a role with both our loyalty program, which is a core part of Sephora, our Beauty Insider program, but also our in-store experience. So we really view mobile as a way to really enable and help assist her shopping experience while she's in store. So mobile plays a vast variety of roles for Sephora, and we really view it as the face of the company. So all the best of Sephora should come through in our mobile experiences, which means that mobile's pretty important to us.
Well, it's certainly reflected in your results. Everybody is always jumping and yelling, throw the resources here, throw the resources there, me, me, me. How do you decide how you balance your resources between mobile web and mobile app?
Yeah, that's a question we get a lot. In fact, the CEO asks us that, me and my team, that quite a bit. And I think it's a big question a lot of companies have of, do we put all our resources in one or the other? Because it's a lot to try to manage both. But what we found actually is when we looked at the data, we saw very different consumer behavior and consumer profile between our mobile web and our mobile app. So our mobile web, what's interesting is a lot of times people are new consumers coming to us, on mobile web. They're coming from search, they're coming from social, places like that. They often aren't part of our loyalty program, and they come, a couple times a month at most, right? But then you look at our app, and you see behavior and consumers that are very different. So, over 85% of the people that are downloading our app are part of our loyalty program, which is huge. And I think like 60% of that are from our top 2 tiers of our loyalty program.
That's amazing.
Yes, there are really engaged clients, and so. And they also convert a lot higher and come a lot more frequently. And so what we realized is it's definitely worth our investment to go after both mobile web and mobile app because of those differences and to really orient the experiences in a very different way. So for mobile web for us is a lot about commerce. It's how do we help her shop, get through our mobile web experience quickly and check out, and ultimately then upgrade her to the app where we focus a lot more on personalized experiences, things like content and social shopping that'll help her really frequently engage with us. So we orient those experiences very differently, and I think both have payouts in kind of different ways. Yeah.
How do you get your customer,
Yes.
For many of you who have never been in a Sephora store.
Men are welcome too.
Men are welcome. You do have men's products in Sephora. How do you get her to take out her phone in the store and talk to us about your colleagues who focus on the in-store experience and how that matches out between the mobile and the in-store?
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning, it's a very big deal to us that mobile is an assist in the store. It's a tool that our store associates have to help clients. It's also a tool for our consumers themselves, right? They can get a lot out of using, we want them to get a lot out of using their mobile app in our store. So we've done a lot of things to try to enable her to really use mobile in the store. Things like, we've created a store experience mode on our app, which has all the kind of tools that someone could need if they're moving around our store and trying to shop. So it's things like, scan a product and see product reviews. It's look at your past purchases or look at the products that you've tagged as the products you love, right? And also, access your loyalty card, access any gift cards you have, all through the store mode. So make it super easy for her to, pull up her app, see the store mode, have all the tools she needs to actually shop around the store. And for our store associates, it's actually interesting. I think they're still getting used to it and using it more and more, but they're seeing that it's really valuable for them as well, right? It's kind of supplementing what they're doing to help our consumers in the store. So they view it as a value add and something that's exciting. We're also testing, technology around beacons, right? Which is another way to get her to take out her phone in the store. We've tried we're trying things like as she enters the store, we have kind of a hierarchy of messages that will be very personalized and be sent to her, saying things like, "Oh, hey, we noticed you shopped on our website and put these products into your shopping cart. They're available in this store, so why don't you buy them?" Or, "Hey, it's your birthday. Come to the checkout, and we'll give you a free birthday gift." Right? So it's a very personalized message. It's providing really, real value to our consumers through their mobile phones. And so, we're finding a lot of good success from that.
Very good. Any particular consumer insights that are driving these mobile experiences?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time thinking about consumer insights to drive what we're doing on mobile, which I think is a really important part of why we're doing well from an online and mobile perspective. So, and we also don't try to overcomplicate it, right? So, we look constantly kind of monitor what's going on with consumer behavior and consumer trends, and then build mobile experiences around those trends. So an example is, we all know right now a big trend is people taking selfie photos, right? Everybody's doing it. We know that's something our consumers love to do. And so we designed a mobile experience, and it's also available on desktop, where people can take a photo of themselves after they've put on our beauty product or after they've gotten a service in our stores, and upload that photo to our beauty board, which is like a gallery of photos on our site and on our mobile. And then they can tag the product that they wore, so it leads to commerce, but it also is just a fun social interactive experience that blends itself well with a trend that's out in the marketplace right now. Another example is, we've seen through our own research that a lot of consumers are first kind of accessing and learning about beauty through video, right? So they're going to YouTube, they're going wherever they can to watch videos, how to use products, and so what we've spent a lot of time on is making sure that we're integrating video into our own mobile and desktop experiences, right? So that she doesn't have to leave to go to YouTube. She can, as she's going through the commerce path, we show her, through search and through our product pages, we have videos right there front and center. And also other areas of the site so that she can easily access video and watch. So we're just basically really monitoring the trends that are out there and trying to then create mobile experiences to match those trends, because we know consumers love it. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beauty is so visual. It lends itself to video much more so than other.
For sure.
Talk about innovation.
Yeah.
Talk about, you guys have got an innovation lab. Talk about what you're doing to kick it up.
Yeah, so we've recently formalized kind of an innovation lab within Sephora. And I think what's great about the innovation lab and also how we approach innovation is it's not innovation for innovation's sake, right? It's really about amplifying current strategies and experiences that we have going on and seeing if innovation can help provide value to those experiences, right? So a good example is recently we did a big marketing campaign around contouring, and I don't know if everyone in the audience knows what that is, but it's the idea of being able to highlight different parts of your face with makeup to really, showcase your bone structure and so forth. Think Kim Kardashian, right? So we just recently did a big marketing campaign about that. And then what our innovation team is doing is they're saying, hey, would any sort of innovation help amplify that strategy and make it easier for consumers to really understand what contouring is, right? So they're using innovation in a value-added way. And so we ended up partnering with a third party to help us create an experience through our app that can actually recognize your face shape and then take you through a step-by-step, how to contour that's very personalized through our app. And that's, I think, a good example of how we think about innovation. Again, it's not just this for the sake of doing it. It's really about how do we take something we're already doing and make sure that we're bringing it to life and helping our consumers.
What has Kim Kardashian done for the sales of bronzer? I mean, for those of you in the audience who may not understand bronzer can go very bad very quickly on a woman's face.
Yes.
And Kim Kardashian has just taken off with the whole bronzer thing.
True.
So it'd be really interesting to tie in, with your new tool. Have you seen any results of the amount of bronzer that you've sold as a result of that?
Yeah, we definitely have. I mean, the overall campaign around contouring was very, I think, powerful because it was speaking again to a trend, but also this experience we created through the mobile app. We saw 500,000 downloads on it. We saw people really engaging with it. Actually what we saw that was interesting is in the stores, the store associates were actually using it as they're helping people do contouring in the store. They're pulling out this app experience and saying, hey, this can show you, you can take this home with you, it can show you step by step. So
that is cool.
And it has led to sales. I think anytime you can really help consumers learn something new and see the value of a product they're buying, at least.
And you get instant feedback.
You do, yeah.
You can see, look at how I look differently. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and it's fun, right?
It's fun. You're engaged with the sales associate. It's great. How does your leadership team talk about when you're looking at limited resources? Everybody has limited resources. How do you balance, okay, we're going to put this much into mobile versus other digital things?
It's something, we spend a lot of time on that. And I think it's tempting, knowing mobile is super important to our consumers, super important from a sales standpoint. It would be tempting to put kind of all of our resources in mobile. And we have put a disproportionate amount of kind of IT resources, CapEx and so forth into mobile, knowing the importance of it. But I'd say, we also recognize that we can't not invest in things like desktop, right? Which are still driving over 30% of our sales and traffic and double the conversion of mobile. So it's important that we keep investing there as well. So we've tried to take a bit of a hybrid approach of, continue to invest in desktop, make sure that we're getting those experiences to show up in mobile as well, and then adding on top of it, additional mobile-only experiences that are very interactive and fun for consumers. So I think it's recognizing that we can't completely put all our eggs in one basket, but also, knowing the importance of mobile. And, I think one of the biggest things we did was bring mobile technology in-house a couple of years ago, which is a major, investment. And
what drove that?
I mean, it was really around having flexibility and being able to be nimble. I mean, mobile is a space that is moving so quickly, and we liked the idea of being able to react quickly and control it in-house. But it was a major undertaking to do that and a major commitment. But I think, we all see the value in mobile, and really it was no question that we needed to do that to stay ahead.
Okay. Let's talk for a minute about commerce, mobile payments. They've been around for a while here. How's it working with Apple Pay? As Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? Is it? Tell us your perspectives and how it's working.
Yeah. So Apple Pay is interesting. Of course, Apple came to us end of last year and said, we'd love for you guys to be a launch partner. And this is right before the holiday season. As any retailer knows out there, it's really hard to get your arms around and your head around launching something during the the height of a holiday season. But it's Apple, and the idea that we could have a payment method that's integrated into our app to make checkout super easy, as well as in our stores, was really appealing. And so we said, we're going to do it. We're going to figure it out. So we put it in place. I'd say, adoption is still on the rise. It's going to take some time, I think, for that to catch on. And so it's still a relatively small % of our transactions. But we have seen the basket size of people that do use it to be a lot higher than average.
Really?
And I think, more than just Apple Pay alone, I think we're recognizing the value of mobile payments and just the idea that particularly through, well, both mobile web and app, that we just want to make it easy for her to check out, right? And on mobile more than anywhere. And so, we're going to continue to look for new ways to use mobile payments.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Any final words of advice for our audience here? Lessons learned, the good, the bad, the ugly, tales from the front, things that you're willing to open the kimono and share?
I'd say a couple things. So first, probably most important, I think, is just, making sure that you're taking a consumer-focused approach to mobile, just like you would other digital experiences. I think it can be really tempting to see all this, great technology that's coming out every day and say, hey, I need to get the latest and greatest. Someone else has that, we better get it. And I think, it's that discipline of making sure you're focused on what your consumer really wants and what they need, and what's going to be value adding to them. And, not necessarily always going after the highest ROI projects, right, in the short term. If they're not going to be what your consumers maybe are really going to want, and keep them loyal and keep them coming back. And so I think it's putting that discipline and that screen on mobile investment that's really important. And then the other thing I'd say is, thinking about what are the KPIs, the performance indicators for mobile that you really want to focus on, right? Because there's so many you could think about. And I think this came up in the last session too. We spend a lot of time thinking about, like I said, mobile web and app. And mobile web, of course, conversion is really important, right? And that's got to be one of our top priorities. But for app, it's got to be more than just conversion, right? You got to give consumers a reason to download your app, take the time to do it. There's so many out there, right? And so, for us, it's things like, frequency. How many times they're coming back to the app? Making sure that we're, holding ourselves accountable for more than conversion. Also, metrics like frequency, just to make sure that we give her that reason, right? And so it's investing in things like personalization and content, social shopping on our app that will help do that. So I'd just say really being thoughtful about, the metrics that you're thinking about for the different experiences. Yeah.
Very good. All right. We've got a couple minutes left. Any questions out there for Mary Beth?
Can you tell us about your bling? Is that built-in IoT stuff to sense your vibe, or are you doing IoT kind of smart jewelry?
Oh, no, I'm not. This is regular jewelry, yeah. I thought yeah.
We've got another question here in the front.
Yeah, you mentioned briefly about your conversion being lower on mobile than web. Can you elaborate a little bit there? Is that more on the mobile website or mobile app side versus the web? And how are you addressing that?
Yeah. So it is lower on mobile than desktop, right? About, quite a bit lower. Within mobile, it's lower on web than it is on app, about half. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I think within mobile, I mentioned app is a lot of our most loyal clients, right? So they're coming back frequently, they're spending a lot more. But the way we think about it kind of generally is, I think we obviously can't track and kind of fully capture mobile conversion in the way that we would like to, right? There's more and more ways we're starting to try to do that, including, capturing store, how mobile's actually driving store sales. And I think once we're able to fully capture all of that data, we'll know what true mobile conversion is. So we actually don't get too hung up about it. I think if you looked at mobile conversion versus desktop conversion in isolation, you'd say, well, I should just continue to invest in desktop, right? But we kind of take the view of, we know mobile is what our consumers are using. She has it on her every day. She's using it everywhere. We know it has a lot of value. And alongside that are trying to make sure we do everything we can to get better attribution and better tracking to show true mobile conversion. So I wouldn't say, I think most retailers, we're not totally there yet, but we're trying to take that both short-term and long-term perspective on it.
And just to clarify, obviously mobile users are visiting more frequently, higher engagement. So when you talk about lower conversion, you're talking about on a daily basis or weekly basis or session basis?
We've looked at all of them. And I think similar kind of sense of relationship between the different properties. But like I said, not overly focused on it either, because I think that can lead us down paths that maybe aren't the right ones either. So.
All right, we're out of time. Please give it up for Mary Beth Laughton.